So the first step we're going to need to do, since this is a new 2024 Tundra, is take the existing bed rail system, take that off, use these brackets that were provided in this box of mounts and brackets here, and then bring those down or off, and then put the new bed rail system up there for the folding bed cover. So we'll do that now. The next step will be to place these relocation brackets. They supplied 8 on the bed frame there, where we just took those brackets off. And you're going to use these pan head bolts. So these bolts that have the flat head here. So there's 4 on each side, and then we'll put the new rails on. Now that these new relocation brackets are in place here, we are going to put the previously existing bed rails back up on there. They're going to hang a little bit lower down here, and that will make room for the new brackets that the bed cover will sit on. So this step is specific to the 2022 and newer Tundras, just because of the bed rail system that it comes with. But then the rest of the steps thereafter that you're going to see are the same as what it would be traditionally for the rough country tri-folding cover, which is the same one I had in my 2017 Ram, which didn't have these steps. It just had the bolt-on rails that came with it, and it just kind of slapped on pretty easily. So a little bit more in depth, or a couple extra steps, but not all that crazy when it comes to what you have to do to get it set up. All right, so I've got the left side on here. It's even labeled in the box to show you left, but essentially it just sits up on top of the bed like that. And then down there you're gonna have the little small hydraulic piece to hold it up, because this is the tri-folding bed cover that is then going to stay up if you have to put something long in the bed. And then you have the tube there where you can connect the silicone tube, whatever the material is, to run it out and drain water out, so it's not just sitting in your bed. I will have to drill a hole here, because with this spray and bed liner, I'm not sure if it was covered up before or after, but it does not have a hole there. So I'll have to do that. But first, we're gonna get these additional bed rails put on here now that we've relocated the factory one down here. Okay, when it comes to the brackets, I am no engineer, and this is probably the most confusing part, because they give you several brackets for various different types of trucks. So what I finally figured out, and I could not find any other videos on the internet, so hopefully this helps you, is you are going to pop this piece out of the existing rail system, and this piece is going to slide in somehow like this. And that is going to sit in there. And this shorter, chunkier one is going to pop up in here and then slide along wherever you want it. You're going to then align those and then grab one of these screws here. That is going to connect in there like that, versus the traditional method using these. So once these rails are in place, you're gonna take these drain tubes that come with it. You're just gonna stick them on right up there. And then I actually do have these holes. They're really tiny right there, not enough to pinch it and fit it through there. So I'll have to drill that out and then just run these down through there. All right, before we put the actual tonneau cover on, we need to put this 3M adhesive foam right here, so the water doesn't get in. So you have this where the water will run through, the tubes will then drain out, and then this will be covered with this foam so that water does not get in, and it reduces vibrations. It's a nice clean contact as well. As you're placing the tonneau cover on, if you have the one that flips up, you're gonna have this piece that pivots right here. You're gonna wanna take this rubber and make sure it folds back over in between the cab of the truck and the bed, just like that. Once you have that on, you're gonna push these little carriage bolts through on both sides right there. And then you're gonna go underneath and stick this up onto the carriage bolt, and then use this little nut right here to tighten them down on both sides so that it doesn't move anywhere on you back and forth as it's in place as you're driving. Once those carriage bolts are tightened down on both sides and it is not going anywhere, you can reach underneath right here pull that to release the clamp that's holding this down, like that, and then just pull up like that. And now that is going to flip up all the way, and then you can take these hydraulic stakes right here and hold it up in place. You're then going to use the straps right there and clamp those in, so if anything comes off, they're hooked in and it doesn't fly anywhere. Once you have those straps in place right here, they clamp in right in these slots right here, then you can pull these up that are laying right here and just attach those right there so that you can, again, take anything long and utilize the whole bed length of your truck and have this sitting in the up position. What's nice about this model of this cover is that it doesn't hit this light or any piece of the window when it's in the up position. There's a little bit of room here for it to sit. It does have a little bit of give. I'm actually curious how this would hold up with the wind and just kind of any road vibrations, but it doesn't hit the light or the mirror, or the glass, which is good. All right, and that's the finished product when it's completely folded out, nice and flat, flush on top of the bed there. What you'll notice is you have this weather stripping here on the edge. This is kind of, it's not even, it's a little bit like wrinkled just from being in the packaging. I had the same one on my Ram without the fold up piece here, but as the sun hits it and it kind of bakes in, that will settle out, but it has this nice kind of flush position here, nice and streamlined and flat, as you can see, so water will not get in there. But there's a better look at how it looks on the truck, fully installed. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helped. Hope the bracket section was helpful. It was a little bit confusing, but nonetheless, great product. Under $1,000, makes the truck look a lot better, and it is super functional. See you guys in the next video.